What's up, folks? We are a day late.
Yeah, no, we're not a day late, man. This is a Thursday/Friday podcast. So.
Well, and last night would have been the same scenario, I guess, as the one, what was it, 2 weeks ago when the tornadoes were coming?
Yeah, we did have some nasty weather last night. Yeah.
Yep. I got to thinking about that whenever we had to postpone. I was like, man, that ended up working out, which that's not the reason we postponed, but that did work out.
Yeah, I don't even remember what time I messaged you, and I knew you must have been right in the middle of something because it was hours later. You texted me back and said, let's do it another night. Like, works for me.
Yeah, dude, I'm hurting still today from yesterday.
Well, I need to hear about it because I don't even know.
Well, man, all right, so 2 days ago, let's see, yesterday, so the day before yesterday, man, I had to go to Ripley. I had to make a long run out to like Nanky area, and I was going out there, and the guy that runs my track hoe for me right now, I don't hear from him. Like, we check in periodically, but like he doesn't call me to like update me on work. Like I let him kind of do his thing. Well, I knew it was probably not a good thing when my phone started ringing at about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it was him. And I was like, man, because he'll text me and be like, I need some fuel or something, like every now and then, but he doesn't call. And so I said, I called him back as soon as I got to where I could. And I said, man, what's going on? He said, my day just got bad, and therefore your day is about to get bad. And I said, all right. I said, what's done happened? And he said, I threw a damn track off of this Volvo.
Oh, shit.
Over here. And I said, oh, damn. And I said, completely off? And he said, no, it's on the rear sprocket, but it's completely off the front idler. And he said, man, I heard a pop when I was walking it. And he said, and I got off and looked, and he said, it just popped off. And I was like, damn. And I mean, it was not through an error. I will say we're probably walking in the machine more than we need to be, because we've been like, he's been taking the trees down and then kind of cleaning as he goes. And realistically, that's probably we're probably gonna have to quit doing that and go back to the original. We used to take the trees down and kind of pile them up and then
clean with a dozer.
Yeah, but it's hard to do because the trees are big. So they kind of like intertwine. And then when you go to push them with the dozer, it just can't hardly push them. So you have to like really work at it. But I think we're going to have to go back to that because I believe we're walking the track hoe too much. But yeah, man, the track hoe, it had jumped the track off. And so never had this happen. That's what Dad, I told him, and he said, oh shit. He said, I've never had that happen. And we had just tightened the tracks because the mud is so muddy down there that mud is actually like, there's some parts where he's running where mud actually almost goes completely over the tracks. Like, it's like a miracle that we haven't buried this track hoe. And mud had gotten under the tracks and actually had them like angled. So we had to dig the mud out probably a week ago, and we tightened them up, but I don't know if we didn't tighten them enough. But so yesterday, I told him, I said, man, you just have to shut the machine down. I said, I'm out of pocket today. I can't do it today. So I said, we'll go out in the morning. So yesterday morning, man, me, Dad, Brock, Mr. Robert, Mr. Cookie all went out there. And from 9, because I had to take care of some stuff around here, from about 9 in the morning until about damn near 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we fought trying to get that track back on. We didn't even eat lunch. Like, we just worked straight through lunch trying to get this track back on. Broke one big chain. We had a big chain on there. Broke the chain, and left with the track still off of the track, off the idler. And man, I was maneuvering the dozer more than anything. So I bet I got up and down off of that dresser dozer. I bet I got up and down off that thing 50 times. And I just, through the process, like my right hip hurts today. Like I can't get over how much I hurt. And like last night when I got home, that's why last night I saw like your text and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to text Bobby Lee back. And I was like, dude, that's what I told Marcy. I was like, I feel like I've been beat up. I was like, I said, I'm going to have a drink and
simple things.
Yes. Yeah. And so, yeah, man, the track is still off. Been watching YouTube videos on guys getting them back on. The problem is nobody has a machine on YouTube that they've thrown a track on that is as large as my Volvo. Like I watched several last night of guys, and they could grab the track and they could like manhandle the track on there. Like this was like a small machine. And I'm like, dude, you can't hardly manhandle one pad on the track of my Traco. Like this machine is so damn heavy. Like we would take long like pry bars, like the railroad pry bars that are like 6 foot long, and you could barely move the pads because this thing is so big.
Yeah.
But I do believe we're going to have to walk it. We're going to have to try to get the track up off the ground. I kind of got an idea. We're going to have to get the track up off the ground. We're going to have it propped up by something and not the bucket, because we're going to have to actually use the bucket to like lift the track while we walk the track a little bit. And you have to actually, from what I've seen, you have to actually walk the track like back onto the idler, because it's metal, so it don't stretch. Like that's what we were trying to like push, and we had the idler all the way in. We had let all the tension out of the idler, but we kept pushing up against the freaking front idler. The chain would not go over it, and so I don't think we were going to get enough push. But man, I tell you, all of us were beat. I mean, that's what Brock was like. He said, "Dude, I went home and took a nap after we got done." Like it was brutal. So. Yeah, I'm still feeling the pain from yesterday. And then today I've actually been swapping service trucks over, like getting all my stuff off of there. So,
well, good deal. So, yeah, this has been the winter of Traco troubles.
I know. You know what I actually said? I almost wish in hindsight, especially that other one. And I messed up the Volvo because I had just thought to myself like a week ago how awesome that machine has been since I bought it.
Yeah.
Like I thought to myself, I was like, man, that machine has really not had any problems. And, and I mean like, and then here we are. But the deer, I kind of was thinking, in hindsight, I almost think I would have leased a brand new machine rather than purchase that deer. If I could have done like a 2 or 3 year lease on a new Caterpillar or something, and I mean, it would be expensive. I realize a new machine, like leasing it, I'd probably end up spending over the 3 years about what I bought the deer for. But I would also have a machine that if something happens to it, it's covered under warranty. They come and do the repairs.
Yeah, you just step off of it and call them.
Yes. And I mean, you run it. It's a brand new machine. Like everything is tight. Everything is ready to rock and roll. I'm like, man, the progress that could have been made this winter with like a new machine would have been substantial.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. That is my like hindsight that I think about. Like I'll pull Dad talks about Paw with Big C, how he would always be like, well, didn't you know that it'd do this? And like he said every time, he said, man, he was the hindsight king. And so my Big C hindsight on that one is I would have probably just leased a new machine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's always kind of the dilemma of, whether it's buying or leasing, but get something new, not having to worry about the breakdowns or if you shouldn't have as many breakdowns, obviously. And then if you do, you just pick up the phone, say, it's y'all's problem, come fix it. Whether it's under warranty or if it's a lease, obviously.
Yeah. And see, I have no clue what a lease on them costs. Because, I mean, you're talking like a new machine, probably the size that I'd want. I mean, you're talking probably close to $300,000 machine.
Yeah. Well, I talked to a friend of mine that kind of does the same thing I do, cattle and hay and whatnot, but just on a bigger scale. And they've gone to leasing like his main tractor that he uses, like in the hayfield and feeding and whatnot. He just leases a brand new one.
Really? It's all a tax write-off too, ain't it?
Man, I've never looked into it that far, but he just said, to be able to have a brand new machine everything. I mean, I guess he's got to put fuel in it. That's about it.
I'm pretty sure the full, like if you, and I guess here's some information for some listeners there. If you buy a machine, you can technically only write off, is it the interest paid? I think it's the interest paid, not the principal.
Yeah,
if you
'cause
finance.
I guess that would make sense because you've got the physical machine is yours, So
Yeah. But if you lease it, then yeah, you can actually write off the entire lease payment.
Okay.
And there is the potential buyout. At the end of the lease period, you get like a deal to buy it.
Yeah. Well, I think his whole thing was, he puts a fair number of hours on a tractor, he can, but he can, the lease, he can put up to so many, per year. And
yeah,
he stays in a brand new machine. And then I don't know how long he runs a lease, and then he gets it just, ends that one, goes into a new one.
Yeah. I think tractors, they do them by hour.
Seemed like he was saying, and I didn't get into a lot of detail, but it's like a yearly lease, and that allows him up to like, I don't know, 600, 800 hours, something like that. And then if he goes over that, I guess it's prorated at that point, per hour or something. But and he's like me, he's got some other tractors, that are kind of his secondary and whatnot.
That he probably owns.
Yeah, kind of his workhorse. I was like, well, yeah, that might be something to look into. I doubt I probably wouldn't put enough hours on one in a year's time to make it make sense.
No, do you put 100 hours on one?
I'd have to go back and look at my notes when I changed my oil a year ago, which that's something I need to service all my stuff. Usually I do that in spring. You can see how many hours. I would put more on mine this past year than I would have prior, just because this past year was the first year I've had all my own hay ground and hay equipment, so I had that extra time. But
how many hours you put on the old 4,000?
The 40/30?
Yeah,
not many, because all I did with it, I tried to spread fertilizer with it like 2 days after I bought it. Whenever you had to come rescue me, and from then on, all I have done with it is rake, which is what I bought it for. It's been my rake.
It's a good raking tractor.
Yeah, and I mean it's perfect for that, and it's just slow on the road. I've got a couple of places, and they're not far away. I mean, heck, you row crop guys sometimes go a long ways, but I got one farm that's like, I don't know, like 6-7 miles from the house, and that tractor will do like 18 miles an hour on the road.
Yeah,
and my Kubota does 24, and so it doesn't sound like a huge difference, but man, when you're going 18 versus 24, it's like this thing will never get there.
Yeah. Dude, that's how, that new tractor that I got, the 5090, it does 21 and a half.
Yeah.
And that's a weird thing. I guess the M, they got a different transmission. It has a D range.
Yeah, I was about to say, because that M rolls.
It'll do 26.
Yeah, I was about to say, it almost goes faster than you're comfortable at times.
On a little tractor like that, yeah, because like my 8420, it'll do 27. Yeah. I mean, and that's a big, people hear that, and that don't sound like a lot. But you got to remember, this is a big-ass tractor. Like, I mean, hey, this thing has got duals. Like, it takes up the whole road, and I'm doing 27.
There's a lot of, like, around here in these residential areas, like, you're not actually doing 27 a lot of times.
You got to dial it back a little bit.
Mailboxes and.
I mean, I get pretty good. I can rock and roll now after a while, but like, especially Dad and them, whenever I've had to drive like their 8345, I mean, it has duals on the front and rear. So like, it's like a monster machine coming down there, and it'll do 26 or so.
Yeah.
The sprayer, the old one they had that I used to use, it'd do 35. And then you're flying like that. But again, you just get used to it. Like, it is funny. I remember the first few times driving it, because it kind of like sways because it's so tall. And like the first time you're like, oh man, you kind of like pucker up a little bit in the thing. And after a while running it, you're like, you're hammering down.
Well, it's like when you've been driving on the interstate all day, coming home from vacation or whatever, and then you get on a back road and you're doing like 65. You think you're doing 40. You're like, oh, God dang.
That is true, man. Yeah, after you get off the interstate, it feels like you're creeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's a good point. Well, yeah, no, I don't know. Leasing is something I'm going to consider more of, because there is a very good argument to be made on the breakdowns versus like repairs and all that kind of thing, because you do lose, the amount of time you lose on a breakdown. I mean, between the amount of time you lose and the amount of money you spend on the repair, that can add up pretty good.
Well, and I know, which of course, talking about some big time operators, but a lot of those guys, that's how they justify trading on combines and tractors so frequently. It's like, yeah, we never, like, we put fuel in it, They might grease it.
I was going to say, some of them don't even freaking grease it.
I've heard rumors, because they know they're only going to run it for one season, and it nothing will wear out. Which that's, man. I mean, oh man,
you hate to be the guy that follows that one, but yeah.
Because and they probably can justify it, and outfits that are big enough to make it pencil out. Yeah, you say, well, we have zero breakdowns, or if we rarely do, yeah. And if you're that big of an operator, I'm sure you call the dealer and need them to get out to work on it, and you immediately move to the top of the list.
Yeah.
It's not 2 or 3 days before they're out there, because you're about to trade that machine in at the end of the year, and they want to be sure that you come back to them and not somebody else. But
yeah, it's that's definitely the thing that I like. Planners. Planners is one of those things. Like I've got a 2018. Which for me, that's a pretty new planner. And I have even kicked around the idea of trading it in on a newer planner, because a planner is one of them things. There's 2 things that I believe that you need to have pretty new. Me and actually Mr. Gerald Wayne talked about this one time. He said, one of the things he said, they always ran, I think, pretty new planners. And they tried to keep pretty updated combines.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. That's exactly the 2 things. I mean, somebody listening might be like, well, hell, that's it. But no, tractors, you can get by with an old tractor. Like, there's things that obviously are nice. Like the hydraulic systems are much better on a newer tractor. Like, I see that even my 8420 is an 04. Its hydraulic system doesn't even compare to like the R series tractors. But, that's a great tractor. It'll do what I need it to do. And then, but combine wise, and I mean, like, look, my big trucks, both my big trucks are old. Hell, one of them is really old. And they'll do what I need them to do. But man, when it's harvest time, it is imperative that you can get the crop out when it's time, especially around here, where we get so much rain. Man, we had a good fall last year. It was dry. We were able to get crops out. We don't always have that happen. So, like, if you have a breakdown, I mean, I've had breakdowns on some of my older combines before. My combine was down for like 4 days. I mean, hell, in a 4-day time span with like my 680 now, hell, I could cut 200 acres or more. Or hell, probably more than that. And so a combine and then a planter, shit, man, you need a newer planter. That is 2 imperative times to run.
Well, planters, just because I don't know much of anything about planters. I mean, I know they plant. You pull them behind a tractor.
Yeah.
That's about where it ends. But just, in watching YouTube and other farmers and whatnot, I'm amazed at how many parts wear out. And like, just because that's what so many guys are doing this time of year, they're going through their planters.
Yeah.
And like, man, I'm like, and like, yeah, you look at some of these, and I don't know how old they are, but like that planter looks pretty new.
Yeah.
And they've got like boxes of parts they're replacing on it. I'm like, good Lord. Like,
yeah.
I mean, is all that stuff, I guess, just is expected to, have a short lifespan. And they're like, yeah, we just replaced these last year, but we're going to go ahead and replace them again this year. Like, oh Lord. Like,
well, that's always been one of the strong suits to the red planters is you can rebuild them. Like, I guess that'd be the other side of the coin on a planter, especially more so a planter than like a combine. But like on a planter, you pretty well know what you gotta work on. You can change. But like, see, last year my planter was down for 2 days last year, and it was all electrical.
I was about to say it was just a bug in there.
Yeah, like it didn't matter how fresh the bolts were in that joker. And so that's the thing that like Dad and I have talked about. Now there's other planters I've like looked at that are a little more simple than a red planter, because there's a part of me that reminisce on the soybean special drill, because it's got a chain on it, and you put that thing down on the ground and you drive, and as long as that chain is turning, it plants.
Yeah, even I know how that one works.
Yeah,
it's pretty darn straightforward.
Yeah, and it's gonna plant. Like, it don't matter if all the monitor is, it has a monitor, and it's just a to let you know if a row is not planting.
Yeah, if a tube gets stopped up or something, yeah.
Yep. And a drill is a controlled spillage. That's what they call a drill. Like it's controlled spillage. You literally just adjust it back. But I mean, for beans, they do pretty good. Like, but that's where I go back and forth, man. The electronics are super awesome. They're super nice when they work. But damn, when they don't work, it can be the biggest nightmare ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I could certainly see that.
Yeah.
Well, did I talk about my little minor breakdown last week?
No.
On the loader on my tractor? I didn't mention that.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, your thing broke on there. Actually, did I tell you I tried to help y'all repair it?
Yeah, no, I knew Dad. He brought me it back. It's like, damn, y'all put some heat on it, didn't you? He said, yeah. Tried the old blue wrench.
Yeah, and he broke, I think, 2 ease outs trying to get out. Well, I was over there doing something in the shed. I got back, and he was in there, and I was doing something, and he goes, yeah, if we just knew a machinist, he'd get this thing out of here. And I walked over there and I said, well, when I was a machinist, we just didn't break shit in there like that. And I said, the thing about it, when I was working, if you broke something in there, you just threw it away and made a new one. I said, so.
That was the thing. I was just waiting on it to get here. And I was like, which I messed up, because you gave me a hard time last week because I was like, I didn't want to drive to the next.
Yeah.
Well, then I messed up by Friday. And I was like, damn it, I really want this part. So I called our next closest dealer, which they have like 6 or 7 locations. I was like, the closest one didn't have it, but parts lady called around. She found one. Of course, naturally, it was at like their furthest location.
Where was that?
It would have been like a 2-hour drive.
Dang, yeah.
But she's like, but we'll have somebody running. She's like, they might get it, but it was going to be like Monday before they would get it. And hell, the one that I had ordered was going to be here on Tuesday. So I was like,
so you've gotten it?
Yeah. So what I was getting at is my parts came in on Tuesday, and literally it took me, and I'm like the worst mechanic ever. It took me about 45 seconds to fix it. I mean, literally you just dropped it in and screw.
Well, what I was asking your dad, so because when he had it over there working on it, it had gotten really close because he had started drilling out.
I just needed to be able to get a bolt started in there was all I needed.
Well, I asked him, I said, what if we just drilled it and tapped it? I said, could you use a bigger bolt?
Absolutely.
Well, see, that's what, because I said, man, I said, you want to.
If I had to, yeah, we could have jerry rigged something to make it work.
All right. Well, that's what I told him. I said, look, the machinist stuff I did a lot of drilling and tapping. I said, I got all kinds of taps over here. I said, if you want to drill it and tap it. And he said, well, I don't know. He said, I don't know how big the bolt can be that goes in it.
It could have been bigger than what it was. Like,
okay.
I mean,
well, we could have had you up and rolling pretty quick.
It was not like super precise. No.
Yeah.
It was all just an anchor point. I know where people are listening like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Just for the joystick.
Yeah.
So it did not have to be like super precise.
Oh man. Yeah, we could have had you going then.
Yeah, I'm up and rolling again now. So we're back to feeding hay 2 rolls at a time, and really that wasn't even the biggest thing. Now, that was a time factor. Just being able to raise and lower the loader so I could unstack my hay that's stacked in the barn.
Yeah, you were saying how you got it stacked in there.
Cause I fed all my hay that was stacked outside up back a month or so ago. And so, yeah, when I'm pretty much, I have to use the front end loader to unstack all the hay, even if I want to use the spear on the 3-point hitch to put it out. But
I got to know, how do you keep your little calf from roaming up to the road?
Oh, the
Bobby Lee has like basically a dog that's a calf. Like when I dropped those coolers off, like I went out there.
She comes running out too.
Oh, dude, she's seriously like a dog. Like you walk up to her and I like crouched down. She came running over there to me. I was petting her.
She was wanting to feed her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was sticking her tongue out and stuff. But
well, I mean, obviously where she stays at my barn is like a half a mile from there to like the main road.
Yeah.
Now she's not that far from my house. Now, at times I would literally walk out my door and she'd be like laying right there in my flower bed.
Really?
And so, but I finally broke her that, basically just because.
You beat the hell out of her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she always gets fed at the barn, which that's what I never wanted to start the habit of being like, oh, well, here she is right outside the garage.
Because then she'd be coming up there.
Yeah, oh, yeah, she'd been there every day.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as she's concerned, the entire world is like my barn in that small area.
Yeah. Well, she is about the friendliest damn calf.
Well, man, you're a bottle calf expert. You know how they get.
I know, but speaking of that, I got 2 right now, and I'm going to tell you, one of them is, I don't know a politically correct way to put this, but I got a brown female that is an absolute dumbass, and I'm thinking she might have some brain damage.
Well,
have you ever had any that you think they have some potential brain damage?
Well, and there's always some of them, they'll call them dummy calves.
Oh, I call her that all the time.
Dummy foals, and it's like they just can't figure. Now, usually I think that refers more to one that just like can't physically figure out even how to latch on.
Well, she can do that.
Yeah.
But like I tell you,
is this the one that you had to rescue after she was a little older?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I have trouble, like the typical bottle calf where the mom dies, at birth or whatever. The mom just totally abandons it at birth, and you never really knows any different than taking a bottle. I feel like I have better luck with those than, like, every now and then we'll have a calf that, like, the mom, is just a terrible milker or something's wrong, and like you can tell the calf's just not getting near the milk it needs, and I'll try to like just give them a bottle like here and there, like maybe once a day or even every other day, just to try to supplement them along. That never really works because they're mostly still feral is not the right word, but like I mean naturally they shouldn't want to nurse a bottle like they want to nurse their mom, and so because that one lived the first little bit of its life trying to nurse her mom, but the mom was just so terrible. Which, of course, the simple answer is you don't keep those moms, so you don't deal with that every year. But
that would be a logical answer, but that we know how that goes.
Well, right, but like, and I've
got like 4 because of that.
I won't, which like I'm in it. And typically, if you have any problems with the calf or you're having to do anything to help the mom out, you get rid of that cow. There's too many good cows out there to keep bad ones. But she hangs around. She doesn't go anywhere. I mean, she would have to go a long ways to be in any kind of danger where she is. So it is kind of odd that I just kind of let her free range. But she doesn't leave the barn.
Oh, so. She's like, I mean, seriously, she's like a little dog around there. No, this calf out here. Man, I just don't. I don't have a tremendous amount of patience, like for certain things. Some things don't bother me at all, and other things, man, I just don't have enough patience for it. And hell, these are like I don't even know, my 8th or 9th set of bottle calves. I don't know. I've had a bunch at this point, and damn, man, like I went out there. I've had her now for a month or something, maybe longer. I don't even know. And I got 2. I call her Dummy, and then the other one is Dipstick. He's the little bull. That's what my kids and wife, they named him Dipstick, and they named her Tinkerbell. But I have never called her Tinkerbell. I call her Dummy. And I don't care if PETA or somebody's offended. So
Dipstick's doing good though.
Dipstick is awesome, man. He's great. Like you go out there, he's like, and you walk in, he's running and
like a typical bottle
cap. Yeah. He's nursing the gate. Like you're trying to like open the gate, he's like, like eating the gate, wanting to eat. I mean, and my kids, I let them feed him because, he knows like he's going after the bottle. This other calf, like you'll walk in there. And I'm like, I have to like walk in there, and I have the bottle like held towards her, and I'm like, hey, come on now, like I'm having to like talk her down, and she's kind of standing there like even looking at you weird. I mean, still, she does this still. I have been bottle feeding her for probably a freaking month, and like I have to like ease the bottle towards her, and you like almost have to like tap her in the nose with it, and then she'll like start to like, then she'll get it and she'll start drinking, and she'll drink pretty good. But if like a raindrop falls in my driveway, she'll quit. Like anything, at anything, and she'll just stand there, and I'm like, drink the freaking milk. Like it's like driving me nuts. But what gets me even worse is when I walk in there and she's just having one of her nuts days, and I'll be like, here you go. And she just takes off running. And she'll be like a wild animal, like going crazy in there. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you moron. And I'll have to like wrangle her down in there and like get the bottle. Like, I've never had a bottle calf as bad as her.
Do you have a bottle holder?
Yeah.
I would just put it in a bottle holder. Like, if she was going to act like that, and be like, here it is, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Well,
and you know good and damn well, if Dipstick gets done with his bottle,
oh, he's going to drink it.
Then he's going to drink yours too.
Yeah.
And she'll learn pretty quickly.
Dude, he would drink, I guarantee you, he would probably drink
which then
two.
the problem is he would scour.
He did. I had to give him a tablet 2 days ago. No, 3 days ago. Which that stuff, those work really good.
Yeah. The main thing, just don't overfeed them. But
yeah. I gave him, I got a thing of them scour tablets, and I went out there. Now, that would have been a funny one for a YouTube short. Like, I had gone in there, and I noticed he was being weird because, he's usually like, he wants to drink all of the milk. And Levi was trying to feed him, and he would drink a little bit, and then he was like, jerking off the bottle, like jerking. That's a weird term for it, but he was, man, I'm still like a lot of bad words. He would pull off the nipple of the bottle.
Jerking off and nipples.
Jerking off the nipple and coming on there. Like, he would take his mouth, he would remove it from the bottle. And
this is talk dirt to me.
That's true. That's true. And so I was like, man, what is he doing? And he had his tail up like he was going to poop. And I was like, he looks like he's about to poop, but he never would poop. Well, he pulled the bottle away one time, and it was just like, it was like a projectile stream of scours. Here comes that weather.
I was about to say, there's a rain.
Yeah. And it was like, seriously, I was like, now that would have made a pretty comical YouTube short, but I could tell his belly was bothering him, and so I gave him a scour tablet, and he was back to normal. I dialed his milk back just a little bit for like 2 days, and he's better to go.
Yeah, worst thing you do with bottle calf is overfeed them.
Yeah, which I give them twice a day.
Yeah, but yeah, bottle calves, they're I don't know, like old Smokey. She's kind of become the mascot of our YouTube channel, but yeah, they'll annoy the piss out of you.
Oh, they'll
especially
slime
when you just
you.
let them free range.
Yeah. Oh, like I said, she was very friendly when I was there just putting the coolers out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she slimed my pants there, like while I was just walking around over there putting down the coolers, because I had to go. She was like standing there, so I was like, well, I got to go pet her. And so petted her, and she's like licking my pants.
Was she in like my hay shed?
No, because I remember where she like would hang out. She was actually overlaying like under some pine trees.
Okay, yeah, she does like to lay out there and get her some vitamin D when the weather's nice.
Yeah, she was sunbathing.
And she kind of, because I have multiple barns, but you would think if you came to my place, she would kind of sleep in the horse barn, because the horses really don't stand there at night anyway. Two, where we keep the hay stacked, like it's awesome, like
a bed of hay.
Yeah, I think I would sleep in there.
Yeah.
She wants to go in our other shed where it's where we stack our round hay for the cows, and then we park equipment once we feed enough hay that we can get equipment under there. It's great if it's out of the weather, but yeah, for whatever reason, that's she's kind of taken up.
Does she bed in like the gravel?
She actually, I've got my net wrap that I take off the rolls of hay, which it would be pretty soft.
Yeah.
I've got like a little bit of a pile of it over there in one spot. That stuff is awesome for throwing like in gullies.
Yeah.
She lays kind of on it, so it is a pretty good place to lay.
Not bad.
Yeah. So she may be smarter than I'm giving her credit for, but.
Well, the brown one in here, she would lay like in a mud puddle, I think. Like I think
that's like where she started out. Like
it is. Yeah. She was kind of mangy. Can cows get mange?
Lice.
Right.
I've had a lice problem. A lot of people have lice problems this time of year. Lice, because it sounds like, oh God, your cow's got lice. It's super common, and really, a lot of people say you don't even need to treat them. Like once you get into warmer weather, they're not an issue.
Yeah. My goats have had lice. I've put python dust on them before.
Like the cows, like you'll notice they're scratching on everything where they can find a low tree branch, and then if they really start to get where they're got some patchy hair loss, that's when I'm like, okay, need to go ahead and treat them. Lice are easy to kill.
Yeah.
They're not a big
You
deal.
put like, was it permethrin?
I hit them with the pour on, but like even some of the fly sprays would probably kill lice. Like they're not hard.
I
to
powder the goats when they, because they'll get to
Fly dust.
scratching.
I like fly dust even on, it's not practical to put on like the whole herd of cows, but like my bulls during the summer, especially once I pulled them off the cows.
And the freaking horse flies are wearing them out. Yeah,
because of course they come to a feed bunk every day.
Do they run off when you throw the powder on them?
They will at first for the first few days, like, oh my God, you're going to kill me.
Yeah.
Like you're, somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 pound animal, and I'm putting like
baby powder,
a couple of
head.
grams of powder on your back, and you act like it's, some poison. Which,
yeah.
I mean, I guess it is a poison if you're a fly, but
I tried to get it when on Mo and Curly. I would try to throw it even on their face. Because the freaking flies get right up in their eyes.
Well, face flies, yeah.
I notice how I guess they get pink eye. And
that's how it spread.
So I would get it on their face a lot because it always was funny with Mo because he was black. So I always thought he looked like he'd been doing cocaine or something because he had it all over him.
Speaking of that, have you seen Cocaine Bear?
No, is it pretty good? Have you watched it?
No, I hadn't.
Did you know it got a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Really?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if I want to see it now.
I know. I don't know if I don't like to base my thoughts off of that because a lot of times they like really dumb.
Yeah, normally the worse Rotten Tomatoes thinks of it, the better it is.
Yeah. Well, it got a 100.
I don't even know who's in it. I've just have seen like people talking about it. It's like, that sounds really awesome.
I only knew of one guy that's in it, and he's one of the like Facebook, but Instagram comedians that I follow. He's in it.
Really? Is it like in theaters?
I don't know if
or is it like on
I don't know.
Netflix or something.
I'm sure it's on like Prime or something. I think it might be on Prime. You got to rent it. You know what happened in Tennessee? It's a true story. It is a true story.
Well, I've seen some of the previews, and so it's clearly not that true because it was a grizzly in the previews I saw, isn't it?
I don't know.
Because and clearly we have black bears in East Tennessee, but
let me look. I'm like, Cocaine Bear, true story. No, it's a black. After a 500-pound black bear consumes a significant amount of cocaine and embarks on a drug-fueled rampage, an eccentric gathering of cops, criminals.
So maybe it is a black
teenagers.
bear in the movie. Okay.
It says it is assembled in a Georgia forest. But yeah, the true story behind it: Cocaine Bear and Pablo Escobar.
Yeah. I wonder, in the movie though, is it a black bear?
That's the movie.
A grizzly would be a lot more dramatic,
And I'm like questioning everything because I had just seen the other day where they were talking about how Cocaine Bear had a 100%. This was on like News Channel 3, and right here on Rotten Tomatoes it has a 70%.
See, that's
so I've been lied to,
and that's more what I would expect.
But
I don't know. This might be a black bear.
And it's Ray Liotta's in it. This might have been the last movie he did before he died.
Oh, damn. I was about to say, yeah. Which I guess obviously the movies come out way after they're done filming. But yeah, he died like 6 months ago or so, didn't he?
Yeah. I bet you that was the last movie. What a movie to go out on. Cocaine
Bear. Had to have been. Yeah, this might be a black bear. I guess my mind. It made me think about it today because one of my assistants came out of an exam room. She's like, we got to go in here and see this dog. She's like, I swear this dog did like an 8-ball before they brought it in. This dog was jacked.
Wow.
Like, friendliest dog you'll ever meet. But
so it wasn't trying to be mean.
No. But it was just like, she's like, this dog just did something.
Is it always that wild?
It's just a young dog that was super happy to be at the vet's office.
Man, that's different from Bear. Bear's like scared.
Oh, that's 90% of our patients. But that's what, we're always joking. Like, literally, it's like, I can't even look at this dog. It's moving so much. Like, I'll be lucky if I can.
Was it a golden retriever?
As a lab.
Oh, okay.
But this dog was just wound up, just loving life, man. It's
that's right,
it's
man.
like, oh, yeah. It's like, dude, this is everything that everybody wants in a dog. This dog is just it is at the freaking doctor getting blood drawn and shots, and it could not be any happier
Yeah.
with how its day is
Might as well
going.
be at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, man, it's like, hell, I wish all my patients were this excited to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I think I need to get Bear up there, actually. I think he's due. But
something.
There was one other thing what we were just talking about that I was wanting to hit on. Now I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, I ate curly tonight.
Yeah, a little curly.
Yeah.
What y'all have?
Just, man, took the easy route. I wanted to test the meat out, so just had some tacos.
Yeah, we had tacos last night, which I actually did a little of my buffalo. And actually we ate the buffalo again tonight. I made some lasagna. So,
well, it is, man, I tell you what, that meat like that, it is lean getting it like that. Like it was not a lot of grease that I had to clean out of there. Like it's definitely leaner.
Well, of course, they're not adding fat to it to get it to like that 73-27 or anything.
I wonder what it would be then.
I don't know. You could probably ask them to kind of estimate.
Yeah.
But I really don't know, which kind of on that subject, we mentioned the Brazilian beef. They had the case of BSE or mad cow in China.
Yeah. It has jumped into a human now.
Yeah. You heard it here first. No, we don't want to start a rumor.
No names will be released yet.
But so China was the first to ban the import of Brazilian beef, but now Thailand, Iran, Jordan, and Russia, and there may be some others, but I know those have also stopped importing Brazilian beef.
Are we still importing Brazilian beef?
You're damn right we are. And that's the frustrating thing, which again,
you got like freaking third world countries damn near banning it.
Right. Like, yeah. Thailand doesn't.
I was going to say they got more chicks with dicks than we do, and they're over there like still not wanting it.
I don't know if anybody has more than we do these days.
Well, isn't Thailand where they're known for it?
I know, but now hell,
well, that's true. Yeah, we're pretty bad over here.
It's like mainstream now here, but anyway, yeah. Well, like even like China, like, do we really care more about what we feed our people, or less about what we feed our people in this country than communist China? But anyway, and of course, the big reason, in my opinion, why we haven't stopped it is 2 of the big 4 when it comes to our meat packers are Brazilian owned. And so,
well, how would that change the game if we stopped importing Brazilian beef?
Well, and so
would that bust up? Would you think that would be one of the things that would break up the 4?
No, because they're making too much money as it is now. That would hurt their bottom line because, again, they're bringing in a lot of product out of South America, which is not a problem. Like, I do not have a problem with that, except that they bring in all this really lean cuts, stuff that's only good for grinding.
Yeah.
But it's super lean, like it's too lean.
Yeah.
To make like good hamburger patties or whatever. You need some fat for flavoring.
Yeah.
And then they get it here and it's, whatever, it might be 95% lean. Like super lean. They blend it with a little bit of our excess fat, that we've trimmed off of some of these Angus calves that we've fed, up to, prime, status or whatever. And yeah, and then you've got a, whatever, make it 80-20 or I can blend in a bunch of fat, make it 73-27, whatever. That's all fine up to the point where they slap a sticker on it.
Product of USA.
Product of USA. Because technically, air quotes, they're not lying. Like, because it is some USA beef and just the fact that it's processed here.
Blended here.
I think technically they don't even have to add any American product to it, but as long as it's brought here and they like process it and grind it here and then package it here, it's a product of the USA, even though it's using entirely imported, raw material, raw, beef.
That's insanely misleading.
Oh, that's why there's a bunch of different legislation out there that's trying to get passed through, but one of them is the truth in labeling.
Yeah.
Because that's not very truthful at all. But yeah, it is frustrating that they like literally places like Thailand and China care more about the beef that they import than we do.
Yeah. Yeah, that didn't speak well for us there. That's not a good thing.
And I think some senators and just lawmakers in general have called for us to halt imports, or at least pause them, for the time being. And I'm not saying we need to cut it all off, because we need the trade partners. I know that we talked about that last week, because a lot of these countries take, our byproducts that we otherwise just would trash them. They wouldn't be good for anything.
Yeah.
And maybe put them in like pet food or something. And they buy them because they actually eat them in their countries, and it adds a lot of value to our animals. But anyway, that was kind of a little more while we were on the subject of beef and lean beef and that sort of thing. So just a little more frustrating there. That I'm not overly concerned about catching mad cow. Like if I eat a hamburger from McDonald's that probably has
mad cow,
Brazilian beef in it, which partially because I try to eat at my local burger joints and not the big corporate stores like McDonald's. But how we all eat a quarter pounder of cheese every now and then. So
yeah, well, I will share. I got to share something here with our listeners. There, I just paired this up. So Bobby Lee, I think, has a new business venture that I feel like we need to share with our listeners here. He's been kicking around this idea for a while. Oh, man, first, actually, when I was going to pull it up, Joe Rogan had Russell Brand on. Man, that one might be pretty good.
Yeah, when I've got 4 hours to kill, I'll listen to that.
Yeah, I'll listen to that one over the span of like a week.
Yeah, we gotta start planting. You can start listening to it.
Yes, and honestly, that'll probably be about the time.
Yeah. Now that would be a good one with.
Yeah, I like him. I tried to get him on this show.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to show y'all. This is an ad for a business, and Bobby Lee is like this has really inspired him.
I'm intrigued because I don't know what it is.
Oh, you'll recognize it. So just listen to it and just imagine this video.
Ah, what a perfect day.
Sweetie,
Yeah, honey?
the horse you're on has a huge penis.
I'd like to get off now. I'm not having any fun.
Then we wasted our money.
Sound familiar? It's a beautiful fall day and you're riding with a loved one when all of a sudden you're made to feel less of a man. You can't compete with these horse hogs.
And now you don't need to. Here at Fenton Stables and Horse Ranch, we guarantee our horses have a smaller penis than a human man.
Meet Starry Night here. At first glance, he appears to be a normal horse, but you check his undercarriage, and he's the same size as you and I. Is it easy to find a horse with a short peanut like this? No, it's damn near impossible.
That's why our ancestors started breeding out the big penis gene in our horses generations ago.
In fact, this year, we were excited to welcome our first 5-inch horse penis. Tragically, he passed early this year.
Killed himself.
He jumped off a cliff.
Is that all they mean? That hung like a horse?
I guess.
But yours is bigger than that.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Huh. Bigger than a horse's. I like the sound of that. Thanks, Fenton's.
Fenton Stables and Horse Ranch.
So there you go. Bobby Lee's going to start a small penis
breeding
horse
operation where we select for only horses. Yeah. I don't know. I don't. It would take so many generations to get to that point. I don't know that I would ever get to see that. Which, like they said, their ancestors.
Their ancestors began.
Yeah,
they just now had their first 5-inch.
Oh man,
that's the stuff. That is the purpose of the internet, right there.
To find videos like
gold
that.
like that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe that could be a business model for somebody.
It would, ruin that one guy's day, and then it was the best day of his life. Like later on, to be hung like a horse. Yeah. So
you can't go on a vacation and go on a trail ride and then just to have your wife see something like that and show you up.
Yeah, that's gonna kill the mood. I mean. And that, hey, we talk about niche markets, like if you want to get into that's
a hell of a niche right there.
That is a hell of a niche.
But yeah, you did send that to me. And
I had to share it. Like when I saw that earlier today, I was like, I've got to play that on the episode today because that is classic. I can't give credit. I don't even know who made that video or anything, but whoever it is, it's pretty funny because I even like videos like that trip me out because like they had a whole cast for that video. Like, and the older guy that's talking about the horses, like he looks like a guy that would be like
that was like it wasn't like me and you throwing that video together. Like
No.
they did it professionally. Like
yeah,
I mean,
like that would look like a commercial on TV.
yeah. I mean, obviously, when you pay attention to like it, you're like, okay, this is a spoof, but it was. They put some time and effort into that.
They did, man. Like I said, that's what I live for on the internet.
Yeah. Come a call. You never know what you'll see, but
You don't. Well, I don't have like as we kind of wrap up here.
Well, I got 2 shout outs to give.
Okay.
I
All
had
right.
2 different listeners reach out to me this week.
All right.
One is Jack Payne. Said he's a big fan of the podcast. He's actually an agribusiness major at the University of Central Missouri.
Nice.
Said he likes to listen all the time. I said, man, good to hear from you. Enjoy that time in college. And I mean that. Because I still feel like, I'm like, man, I just graduated college. And then I think about it. And I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Been a little while.
It's been about 18 years ago or so,
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
you'd be the Matthew McConaughey at this point. You know, the guy that's like way graduated.
What was he saying?
All right.
I keep getting older, but the girls stay the same.
Same age, yeah.
But no, yeah, we love to hear from people, and like we always say, if you got a topic or something you want to discuss,
Yeah, especially being an agribusiness major, I'd love to hear some. You know,
Yeah.
if you have some questions for us in the business side of things, you know, I'd love to hear them, and we'll do what we can to. I mean, we're in the mix of things, so you know, if there's any questions, yeah, I'd love to. And if we don't know, I mean, I'm fine. I've never had a problem saying I don't know. You know, so no, I appreciate you listening. That's awesome.
Yeah, the other one was well, trying to find his name. It's East Cedar Cattle Co. on Instagram, and they actually just reached out to me. Yeah, it's Aaron. I was about to say I was almost certain it was Aaron, but I had to make sure. Didn't want to get that wrong. But yeah, Aaron with East Cedar Cattle Co. Same thing. But yeah, y'all reach out to us if we've got like I say, topics, questions, anything. Because yeah, every week, like I say, we try to find pertinent news stories that are out there, but there's just, I mean, some weeks there's not much, or we don't feel like it's something we're qualified to speak on or whatever.
Or it may just not be interesting. You know,
and that's really probably more of it. 'Cause yeah, you can find stuff and it's like, yeah, I don't know that.
Yeah, this would be more boring than watching paint dry.
Yeah, like Logan will fall asleep if I start talking about this. Much less. Listeners won't fall asleep. They'll just
change to the next.
They'll go listen to Russell Brand with Rogan.
Yeah, for 4 hours. Yeah. Well, no, yeah, we always appreciate everybody listening, and we love for you to reach out. I think we had somebody reach out on Talk Dirt. YouTube. Did you see that one?
Oh, I don't know.
Actually, I think they had a question for you. Let me see.
May have to pick that one up next week so I can answer it fully.
Yeah, let me see here.
Unless it's like a yes or no question.
No, it's kind of specific on a steer thing. That's Mark Brinley wrote in there.
Well, hey.
First off, thank you, man. Appreciate the question. Yeah, we'll get to that one in the next episode. We'll make sure to respond to you.
That's what we call a teaser.
Yep. Yeah, but we do appreciate you you reaching out. He asked how he can avoid paying taxes ever again. No, he had a question about.
I about to say, got lots of ideas.
I might try it out this year. I'll let you know how it goes. If I'm still on the show next year, we'll know.
Right.
If I'm not Wesley Snipes it in prison, then we'll see.
Let's say Logan can join us via Zoom.
Yeah, might be quality on my end might be a little lower. Yeah, coming from a jail cell.
Probably have better internet than I have in my house.
I bet you they do. They probably do. Yeah, really.
I would almost guarantee that that's considered a basic human right, just to have better internet than I have.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah. Cable TV. Yeah, they probably watch Yellowstone in
Let's
prison.
say cable TV, you're ahead of me there.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you have anything more than dial-up internet? You're ahead of me there.
yeah. Y'all are still like, get off the phone. We need to use the internet.
Oh, like literally, if we're trying to watch, because about the only thing we watch live is basketball games. Like I have to be sure that neither kid has their iPad, and like my wife, because she'll still be up there scrolling on her phone. I'm like, do you have your Wi-Fi turned off? Because yeah, if somebody literally pulls out another device and is scrolling the internet while we're trying to watch a game,
Pulls it down.
like it, or it'll just stop and start buffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we close, though, have you caught up on 1923?
Yeah, I finished it.
Yeah.
Or finished the first 8. So again, we could talk for 45 minutes about it, but he clearly wrote it with there to be a next season for it. Or
Yeah, there's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that his intention was.
Well,
I
I mean,
think
he clearly where episode 8 ended, like
it's
nothing
not even
was resolved.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
nothing
no
was-
closure.
So I don't know if they got to writing it and he was like, yeah, I just can't pack all this into 8 episodes.
Yeah,
Or because obviously we compare it to 1883, and 1883 had a lot of finality. Like,
oh yeah.
you know,
Like I almost had finality at the end of that one.
right, like, and I liked 1883. Like, I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I
Marty
mean, it's-
loves being depressed. You know.
well, I mean, look, people die. Like, that's what happens. I mean, and yeah, I mean, but yeah, like or episode 8 of 1923 ended, and for
Hell,
anybody that hadn't caught up, I don't totally spoil it, but like, yeah, like what the, like Spencer ain't no closer to home than he was when we started this damn thing. Like,
it's more of a shitstorm now than at the
you know,
beginning.
it's like I was wanting Spencer to come riding in across the Montana prairie with guns blazing.
oh yeah, I wanted him to be like the
dead shepherds laying everywhere. And,
in Revelation when it talks about Jesus coming down with like bloody robes and on a flaming chariot. Like that's how I was imagining Spencer coming in there with
Yeah.
a double-edged sword coming out of his mouth. Like, yeah, I wanted him to chop some heads off.
yeah, and it's like, damn, like it,
Instead, just it don't play out that way.
no, and like yeah, and so yeah, I don't know if they got into their filming and they were like, yeah, we just cannot fit all this into 8 episodes. They're like, or we really like this cast, and maybe Harrison Ford and all them were willing to go.
And see how long
longer.
can they stretch this out? Hell, Harrison Ford's like 97.
What? Right, yeah, some of that is an issue, but I mean that'd be pretty easy. He just kill his character off. I mean, hell, they nearly did anyway.
Yeah, true.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Well, that dang man, I tell you what, 1923, man, damn. I
it's
thought
good.
it has been my favorite. I actually think I like it better than Yellowstone.
Oh, I definitely do. Like if tonight, which not tonight, it's already 10:30. It's way past my bedtime. But like if you told me, all right, there's a new episode of Yellowstone and 1923 out, I would pick 1923 every time.
Yeah.
I don't even like. I would have to sit here and think for a minute. Like, where did Yellowstone even leave off last? I mean,
Yeah.
they're just it's just random drama on there. Whereas like 1923, you're like, holy shit! Like there's real stuff going on. Like
Yeah.
like
Man, they got raunchy in the last 2 episodes.
oh yeah.
That was a little overboard to me.
Well, and it's kind of weird that he kind of throws that in there, but I guess it kind of trying to
I get that he's painting the image of the guy being like evil.
The old like what is he a mining tycoon or
Kinda,
whatever?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's portraying him as like a madman, like he's sadistic.
Yeah.
And-
He's definitely into some yeah. He's not a wholesome dude because
Yeah.
even though the Duttons obviously have their flaws, they're relatively they're good family people. They care about the ranch and
They're not
land and
Led
all that.
Zeppelin in it with the guy whipping a chick with a big tuna fish in the hotel
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
But that's they get
Yeah, he's clearly he has a messed up because you almost get the impression like, oh yeah, this dude's gonna have his way with this prostitute. He's like, no, he wants to just see her pain on her
yeah.
face. Like, damn, dude, that's like a whole nother level of messed up.
Yeah. But I just still, I'm like, man, you got to show as much as you show. Like, there is a part of me. And, like, look, I'm a red-blooded dude. I mean,
Oh, it's not that bad. I mean, there's titties. I mean, that's
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I'm like, man, come on. You could subtle it. I still like the art of subtle.
well.
That,
I agree with that. Yeah, it was kind of those things like, and it's violent enough, and the language is bad enough that I don't let my kids watch it. But
Yeah.
it's like if my kids are maybe a little older. It's like, well, okay, these two chicks don't have much more titty than I do, but
It's true. Yeah.
but still, like I wouldn't let my kids
I
watch it.
did. I will say, if Taylor is marking, he's marking the boxes, the PC boxes. He's getting some of the gays in there. But I guess if I gotta have some gays in there, I'd rather have it be women.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, who's the gays? Like
The two women we were just talking about.
well, I don't know if there's so much. I mean, maybe. I guess
They seem to be enjoing it pretty good.
I think they were getting paid.
Well, yeah, they were still enjoying each other's presence.
Yeah, but if it's two girls and one dude, I don't consider them gay.
Well, but when it really shows them, it's pretty much just two girls.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I'm really biased here, but I'm like, okay, it's not near as we're getting way off the rails here. Two relatively attractive chicks. They're there after a man has left and they're still enjoying each other. It's not near as gay as if there was two dudes enjoying each other.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, I agree.
we can agree on that.
And like I said,
That may be very sexist and / homophobic. I don't know.
well, and that's the same.
I may check all the boxes of a right winger here too, but
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I had to pick, if they were like, all right, you got to watch the show and there's going to be gays in it. And you got to have either gay women or there's gay
when
men.
you tell me that, I'm like, well, where's like I'm thinking Brokeback Mountain, like, which I've never seen.
But even Yellowstone is the same. I got to thinking about this. Yellowstone, there's been two pairs of gays in Yellowstone.
See, I can't even think of those.
Both times it was women. And so I'm like, Taylor Sheridan is just like us. He's like, who wants to see two dudes kissing? Nobody.
So who were the gay women in Yellowstone? Like,
Well, one of them was the Indian chick that Jamie kills early on. Remember her girlfriend's there.
okay,
He kills her. And then the other one, it was just a brief glimpse. And I mean, they literally were like, I guess we need to check this box. And it's Dutton's assistant that's making out with the chick that looks like a blonde-headed dude at the concert.
Really? See,
You probably like quick glance because it was a dykish looking dude or dykish, I guess a dykish looking chick. I mean, it was a dyke.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I was like, well,
Which, to me, in that context, like, okay, so Yellowstone, I don't know how many seasons there are and how many different couples there are. That's probably about the right ratio
yeah,
of like the real world.
yeah.
It's not like a Netflix TV show where
Where
literally
50% of the people are gay.
Yeah. It's like literally if there's 10 couples, 5 of them are gay.
Yes. Yes. Or if it's the apocalypse, 12 people are left alive and 6 of them are gay. Yeah. I mean, it's like,
oh, wow.
that seems a little bit reaching there. And from a survival standpoint, that is not good. That's bad for our survival odds. Who's going to repopulate the earth?
Well, I saw it, and again, we're getting long-winded here, but it was a meme the other day, and it said something to the effect of, like, quit trying to tell us transgenders or natural. It's like, if there's like an apocalypse and there's an island, and in one scenario there's 100 women and 10 men left, and I come back, 100 years from now, there's going to be a healthy population of people there on that island.
Yeah.
It's going to look pretty normal.
Yeah.
You've got in like a parallel universe, you've got another universe where there's 100 women and then 10 transgender men. Like, you come back in 100 years,
They'll be dead.
and there's going to be 110 skeletons, and
Yeah.
they're all going to be female skeletons.
Yeah.
Like people would be like, well, why were there 110 females here?
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Yep.
So, but anyway, yeah, we got kind of off the rails there.
Well, that's, hey, it is what it is.
We're due for that at least what?
Every episode.
Every episode? Well, maybe episode.
Made in America.
Made in America. I was actually going to look. I needed to see if this thing is made in America to make sure. because we used it today. And I'll tell you what, it is a bad to the bone thing.
Well, you're going to have to share it now either way because you done piqued my interest.
All right, yeah. Well, look, Bobby Lee and I said, I mean, obviously, we like American made. There's no doubt about it. But, I mean, look, I use some stuff sometimes that probably ain't American made. And
well, and some people call me out on that. My brother in particular. He's like, oh, you're wearing, is that, like, look, I try. There are some times.
There you go. You make an effort.
It's almost, I won't say it's unavoidable, but sometimes, like, yeah, like, everything I wear is not American made.
Yeah.
Now, if I really want to, if you said you got to wear everything American made tomorrow, from my socks, my underwear, shoes, like, I could make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Belt, hat, yeah, I could. I might not. I might look a little funny fitting it all together, but yeah, it's certain things it's hard to do that with. But I feel like you make an effort, and if you can't buy American made, damn well better buy it from a local, retailer, a small town retailer.
Yeah.
In my mind, the worst thing I can do is go to Amazon and buy something made in China, because like there I'm supporting a big ass corporation and foreign manufacturing. If I go buy, and I will not even going to shout out any brands, but any of the big name brands, but from my local store here in town, well, hey, that wasn't made in America.
Yeah.
But I supported a local small business by buying from them.
Yeah.
At the very least. Now, if you can buy local and it be something made in USA, that's when you've hit the old grand slam.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. Well, this one, I can't even find out if it's made in the USA, which means it probably isn't.
That is typically true. Usually companies that are made in USA are pretty proud of it.
Yeah. But I will tell you that this is the baddest thing that I've probably used. I don't think I've gone over it, but it's a Milwaukee Fuel Impact. Have I ever talked about that thing?
So, I don't guess so. I'm in. So it's not a battery.
It's battery powered. It's an electric impact, and it is so bad. It will twist we twisted like a half inch or bigger. Maybe it might have even been a 3/4 inch bolt off one time with this thing.
Wow.
It's bad. I have a DeWalt electric impact that's pretty tough. This thing's even badder than that. It's a Milwaukee. I don't remember if it's a M18 or I don't remember which one it is, but it's a bad dude. And we used it. I mean, we were using it today when I was moving those boxes and air compressor and all that off of my service truck, breaking it loose. Did you look it up?
Well, I'm looking up because I use it's every morning and sometimes every afternoon. Now it's getting to where it's light enough in the afternoons that I don't need it, but I have a Milwaukee, and it's got the detachable battery.
Yeah.
That you charge up, and it's got 3 different settings, but it's a floodlight or a spotlight, or it's got the flood/spot setting.
Yeah.
And like my barn where my feeder steers are housed, I've got electricity. I've got some lights down there, but I'm an electrician. I've been trying to get him out for forever to get me some other. Anyway, so I just take that thing. I think it's badass.
Yeah.
A badass spotlight. I take it. Heck, we took it to Montana with us when we went out there deer hunting.
Really?
Just have like the spotlight, like when we're in camp.
Yeah.
Right there in the middle of
For your
nowhere.
Instagram photos. Set up a good Instagram photo.
Oh yeah. No, but like for too, if we were like gonna be tracking a deer possibly after dark, something like that. That thing.
Oh, dude, I've not had anything of theirs that ain't awesome.
Well, because I guess DeWalt, kind of has the reputation for being the badass, the battery.
Yeah, that's what I got a bunch of them.
And I've got a DeWalt drill, but Milwaukee is really
the Milwaukee, that impact.
I assume their corporate headquarters damn well better be in Milwaukee. It'd be like the biggest false advertising ever.
Well, that's what
Now, even if the stuff's made in China,
yeah,
they better have at least some their corporate headquarters or something.
So it started in 1924, and it's led the industry in developing innovative solutions but it does not say where it started. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I see that, the MX fuel equipment.
Dude, the MX fuel impact is freaking nasty. I'm just going to tell you, that is the baddest freaking impact. I mean, I have like a Chicago pneumatics or something, titanium, like air impact, that at the time that I bought it, I like felt like I was big dicking walking around with that thing in the truck, like, or driving around with it. Cause I mean, it was bad. Like, it's a bad to the bone air impact. But that Milwaukee is probably just as bad as that one.
It just seems crazy that a battery powered tool could be that.
And it holds a charge for a very long time.
That light's the same way too. Which I don't run it for just a long period of time, because like my biggest barn with a horse R has lights.
Yeah.
But like when I'm feeding my cow herd in the mornings, a lot of times I'm using it, like on the flood setting, because I don't, especially back a month or two ago, it's just so dang dark. But somebody, I actually saw a guy I know just through Instagram was using one. I was like, man, it looks really nice, and I bought it, and man, that thing has been awesome.
Yeah.
I can't figure out which model it is or whatever. But
yeah.
And it's a big light. Like, it's not something you would take on like a backcountry, hunt or something where you're hiking in.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big, like, you carry it by a handle. I mean, it's not too big to tote around. But like, if I have to go check out in pasture after dark on a cow that's calving or something, there's no doubt that's what I'm taking with me.
Yeah. Well, I recommend them. Like I said, I have no clue. They're obviously not made in USA, or it would have said on there, because that's a very good selling point. So, but I'll put my word on it. They're bad to the bone pieces of equipment, especially the impact. So check them out. Appreciate you guys for listening to the show. Go to talkdirtpodcast.com, or contact page, and reach out to us. Let us know if there's a question you have, topic you'd like for us to cover. If you're in school, like we had the guy reach out in an agribusiness school, man, let us know any type of questions you'd have, like about the business side of things. We'd love to talk about that. If there's films you want us to review, I mean, literally anything, reach out to us on the website, on YouTube, Instagram, whatever. Let us know, and we will gladly cover it.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna try to run to my Jeep and get home without getting soaking wet, because I don't know if y'all will be able to hear the rain falling, but it's apparently coming a pretty good rain right now.
It is. Y'all have a good one.